What is up, guys? Hopefully everybody's having a great event, good weekend, getting really close to the holidays, New Year's, Christmas, man, exciting time. But today we are going to check out some lineups. I know a lot of you have been waiting for this video, kind of show you what I have been working with. I have tried, just about every combination of lineup that I could possibly think of, see what works, see what doesn't work. If there is something that you have that I did not mention that works really nice, please post it in the comments to share with everybody else. And of course, if you do enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And how's your event going? How's everybody's event going? If you want to post, what stars you've gotten. I've only gotten 1 star so far. We're a little bit above that 500 mark right now, just because I've been trying to test out a lot of different lineups. So I've been losing. But anyway, let's get into the very first lineup. This one is kind of new, something that I haven't really done in any stream, any event before, just because, I don't know, I just haven't tried it. All the other things were working pretty nice, but since I tried so many different combinations, I thought I'd try this one and found that it works really, really well. I think out of the past 100 times I've done this lineup, I think I've only lost once. And that was just a freak accident. I mean, I don't know how I lost. But anyway, looking at the lineup, we got the Westbrook event card. We got the Oladipo and the Clint Capella Elite event cards. Now, obviously, this lineup is not going to be for everybody if you don't have the event cards. Kind of makes it hard to do it. I did try this lineup with regular stars, regular elites. It still worked okay, but wasn't exactly the same exact success that I'm finding here. Like I said, I've probably done this lineup at least 100 times, and from what I can remember, I've only lost once. So it's a really good lineup. We are going to check it out. The +5s doesn't make a difference whether or not it is star plus, star plus plus. The opponents we normally face are 2-star pros, and the rest of the cards are either going to be elite pros or they're going to be maxed out star cards. Sometimes you will see winter cards, autumn cards, sometimes event cards, but as long as the cards that you have in the deck are the ones that match, your support cards, and you play it right, like I said, this lineup has been absolutely amazing. So let's get into the first game. We're going to check it out, kind of go through what you should do, or I think most of you kind of know the strategy when it comes to doing this. But anyway, first opponent, if they have pick one player 99.99% of the time. I mean, pick your worst guy. Most of the time they throw out a star pro. Sometimes they do elite pros. They do that every once in a while. We got another 1 player. We're going to pick another one of our worst ones. Now they played an elite pro, so they still got 1 star pro there. They did 2 this time, so you figure actually 100% actually, because they don't ever play their best card as the last card. So this is going to be a star pro and an elite pro. You want to use your support card, of course pick the Westbrook, and then depending on what stat it is, that's going to depend on what elite pro you pick. So we're going to go Clint Capella, and they have a star pro and a maxed out star, so same thing as an elite pro. And then the last one, we got Victor Oladipo. We don't have any supports left, but we don't need them. It doesn't matter. Since they're all event cards, every time they activate, it goes across the entire team. That's another one of these benefits of using this deck, especially if you have foils and stuff like that too. Foils, event cards, those are always better ones. I kind of wish the winter, autumn, rookie stars, throwback Thursdays, I wish, even though those cards are better than regular cards, they still don't activate across the board or across the team. So that's why these and foils are a little bit better. I really want to try to get them to do like a different order, not single, double. Maybe a double first would be nice, just to switch it up, but they do have another single one. Dan Marley, awesome card, man. I really want to get that one. See, okay, now we have 2 players. So they've only played 1 star pro. You figure that this one's going to be a star pro and an elite pro. So we're going to go the Westbrook, and we're going to go, since it's offense playmaking, no reason to pick the Clint Capella, and we're going to take the Victor Oladipo. Oh, they only have 2 regular stars, which is nice. So since this is good that they made it a switch like this. And so since they played 2 regular stars into the double, then they still have a star pro left. And if they still have the star pro left, they always, and you've done your single, you've done your double, they're gonna play it third. They're not gonna play it last. They're going to play at third. So we're going to play the Kyle Kuzma, and they're going to play their Star Pro, and which is the, who was that? Elton Brand. And then the last one, again, we have an Elite Pro, and this can either be a maxed out Star or another Elite. And it is a foil, so it's a little bit better than a regular one, but still we have the event cards, so that's why they're in there. Works out, and another easy victory. Alright, so the next lineup is very similar to the one I used in the stream and the one that I used in the last Rivals Clash event to get the Russell Westbrook. And before, what I did was use level 9 stars and then that Anthony Davis Elite Pro at level 4. Or just take 3 level 9 stars. Well, actually, I increased the level just a little bit. All 3 of these stars are level 15. And we have 2 regular epics. And the reason why I increased it to level 15, because every once in a while, if you watch the stream, and what I've noticed is that sometimes I get a maxed out star and a maxed out elite card. And I couldn't beat those 2 at level 9. So I increased it to level 15, pretty much the minimum, and in which I felt confident, in which sometimes, or at least most of the time, I can beat that, at least depending on what, you know, what stat they pick. So I've been testing it out, increasing the levels just a little bit, and felt that level 15, you could probably even do it to level 16 or 17, and just to see what opponents you actually face. But that is what it looks like. I'm still going to go with the same thing. Here is a little bit different though when it comes to your opponents that you face. Now at the very bottom, your +5s, you're either going to face a Elite Plus or you're going to face an Elite Plus. Me personally, even though that you can win in both cases, I would play the Elite Plus. And the reason why that is that I found that on the Elite Plus, man, almost every single one of the decks had 2 fully maxed out stars. Sometimes even 3, which makes it pretty much impossible to win. So what I do is I just look at it. If it is a Elite Plus, then I just back out and go back again. And then if it's still Elite Plus, then I go back out, back in. And then if when it's Elite Plus, then I face the opponent. I actually wasn't even looking just now to see if it was Elite Plus. But we're going to take this guy on. Same exact thing though. In this particular case, here's where it is just a little bit different, especially when they have 2 players at the very beginning. If they have the star completely maxed out, which they guaranteed will, if they do not play this in the 2-player one, you're gonna lose. But if they do play it, then you have a chance to lose if you don't play your 2 players. So the only time that I found where I guess have lost in this particular case, even though it's really successful, I'm still hitting 90-95%, is when they do the 2 players at the very beginning. It's pretty much a crapshoot, just whether or not you decide to go for 2 of them, or you decide to play your 2 worst cards and play from, you know, behind the whole time. But we're gonna do with the 2 players to start, just to see what it is like, and we ended up winning. They played their maxed out star just then, if you didn't catch it, and they had a maxed out elite. And so that's why I did it to level 15, is because before, when it was level 9, I couldn't win that matchup. Like, I couldn't win the maxed out star and the maxed out elite matchup until I did it to level 15. And level 15 was about the minimum that I found that actually worked. You can probably still do the deck at at level 16 or maybe level 17 and still get the same opponents. But right now I'm just sticking with level 15, and it's still working out pretty nice. So that's what we're working with. That's what we're doing. And Damon Stoudemire, still got my boy in there. Depending on what stars you have, obviously it's going to make it a little bit different. I would use, you know, complementary support cards. Now here's another deck that is pretty similar to the last one. The only other thing that I switched out was I went back with the AD. This time I made the AD level 9 because, like I said, I want to be able to make him high enough to where I do where it's just at least a little bit better than Epic Prime Pros, and so it still works out really good. We're now in Epic Prime Plus Plus, which makes the opponents a lot easier to get. It's a lot easier to get just regular elites and regular elite pluses. We're going to do the same exact thing though. Same exact strategy, same exact everything. The only difference is AD is going to solely be used to win our single, and we're going to use the 2 stars at level 15 to win our double game. So that's the only difference is that no matter what, most of the time at least, no matter what, I take the 2 stars as my doubles, and then take the AD very last card to make sure he is just a little bit better, because he's always, if you can save AD, you know, that elite pro for the very last card, you're always going to win that matchup. You just have to be sure you win your double game with the 2 stars, just like we did in the last one. I mean, we had 2 of them. Here's the same thing. I mean, it started again with 2 people at the very beginning, and we have the same idea. I mean, we have to win the double game. You can risk it and do your 2 worst cards, but like I said, if you do the 2 worst cards and they don't play their maxed out star, then you're guaranteed that you're going to lose, and you don't want to be in that situation. And so that's why I leveled them up to where it would be high enough to where I felt fairly confident that they would win if they didn't play, you know, that card. And so there they didn't play their maxed out star. It looked like I could have missed it, but it didn't look like they did it. I was kind of like only glancing really quick. But I think they still have their maxed out star somewhere, and since they didn't play it in the double, they didn't play it in the next one, guaranteed they're going to play it right now. They don't play it last, they play it second to last always. And so there's the maxed out star, which is nice, and then we have our AD to save, which is again a little bit better than either Epic Prime Pros or Elites, and we got our win. So this one works out just as good, maybe even a little bit better than the previous deck with 3 stars, just because it's a lot easier to find lower ranked opponents. Since your team is only in Epic Prime Plus Plus, to be able to find Elites and Elite Pluses is a lot easier to deal with, instead of having to go back and forth constantly when you have all of those cards in, or at least those stars at level 15. Alright, let's do another one. See if we can't get it a little bit different. Both of these last couple, they've been playing the doubles at the very beginning. Let's see if we can get them to play some singles first. Okay, so again, when they play that, when they ask for the singles, there they don't have a star maxed out. They actually have an Elite Pro maxed out. But that is the same thing, an Elite Pro, star maxed out, pretty much going to be the same thing. We got rebounding and playmaking. Here I got to go just in case, because like I said, every once in a while they have either a Elite Pro maxed out and a Star Pro, or sometimes they have 2 Star Pros. That does happen every once in a while. So just in case, that's why I always play the 2 star level 15s with each other, no matter what. But they don't. They just have Epic Primes, so we're good. So even if they do have 2 stars in this particular case, or the Elite Pro that they played and a star, we don't have to worry about it, because they would have played it just now. And so last one we got AD, easy win. Even though they have an autumn card, still I make it to where it is at least a little bit better than the autumn cards, but a little bit better than the foil cards or Epic Prime Pros. So I'm not stressing on that very last one. Okay, another deck that I've used in which I don't have it, I've said it many times before, and it's, you know, one of the original Rivals Clash decks that works really good. I just don't have it anymore, and the reason why I don't have it is because, as you see, those cards that I used are now pros. The deck that I used before, in which just about anybody can get, that worked really well, again 95% win rate or higher, was the single AD, single Rashard Lewis, single Kenny Anderson, and then I just use 2 common cards, or 2 uncommon, really doesn't make a difference. And so that deck worked absolutely amazing, 95% plus win rate, and you can use that if you have them. But like I said, I've always been trying to collect the catalog, and it's been a while now that since I got the dupes and stuff, I had to dupe them up. I tried to get them again, you know, the singles by themselves, but you know, inventory, we need the space, and so I always deleted them. But then they added more slots, and so now I'm trying to collect them again. I only have the Rashard Lewis as a single. I don't have the AD or Kenny Anderson. So when I get those, I'll, you know, put it in maybe the next one once we get to the next tier. Still test that deck out, see if it works. All right, so the last one we're going to look at today, again, involves Anthony Davis. I really like this card. It's even on the low end or the high end. Either way, it's very similar to the 2 stars and the Anthony Davis. But here we have 1 single card that's the best and then 2 lower tier cards. Anthony Davis, Pro, level 9, and then the Jaylen Brown, Zach LaVine, we have at level 7. Epic Prime Pros. And so with this particular strategy, again, is very similar to the other ones. You want to have the Anthony Davis and one of the Epic Prime Pros for your two-player matchup, and then you save whatever Epic Prime Pro you have for the very last matchup. And most of the time with these, you're going to find 2 elites in there. Every once in a while, you'll see like an Epic Prime Pro, which is better than elite, which makes it a little bit harder, but most of the time it's just 2 elites or something like that. And so usually when they do the doubles, they do an elite and an Epic Prime Pro, or just an Epic Prime, I mean, and then the very last card is just an Epic Prime. And so we make the pros a little bit better than the Epic Primes. That way, again, it's guaranteed to win. So let's give this one a shot. Kind of same strategy, same type of idea. If they start off with singles, you play your worst card. If you start off with doubles, you have to be able to beat those doubles on a consistent basis. So that's why you make them pros just a little bit better than the other cards. So we have 1 player. We're going to go with our worst card. They got an elite card. You know that there's going to be 1 more. And so there is the other elite card. And so sometimes they do throw out 3 elites, but that is very rare. And in those particular cases, when it does do that, I do, if it does single, 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 I do just take the Anthony Davis and play the Anthony Davis just in case they throw out that random 3rd elite, which they just did. And so these cards right here at the very end are going to be just 2 regular Epic Primes. So we still have our support card. We have these cards, or at least these cards, a little bit better than regular Epic Primes. So you know we're going to come out on top on that one. So it's good. You know, works out nice. I surprised that they had those 3 elites in there. But you do get that every once in a while. Let's play 1 more game at that same tier. Kind of give you another idea what it is. And so this tier, Epic Prime's a little bit harder to tell, you know, if it's plus or plus plus. But looking at this one, I think it is plus. But either way, doesn't matter. If it ever goes to elite, you're going to want to stay away from that, obviously. So with these, again, you're 1 player. Hopefully they play the elite card. That one is a bad elite, not even completely maxed out elite. So you know that they're going to have a couple of those in this particular case. Here's another one, fully maxed out autumn card. We have 2 players. For defense, we got to go AD because, again, you got to win these games. There's going to be an elite card in there. So we got to go our best defense, and there's a star card. That actually is pretty surprising. That was actually pretty surprising, but no matter. That star card obviously wasn't completely maxed out. You know, when they do this matchmaking, I think they take your combined score and then make it a certain number of points better. but as long as you structure the cards correct, you know, you should be able to come out on top the most of the time. And that is why the very last card was an epic instead of an epic prime, was because they had that that star card in there, which was, again, pretty surprising. Alright, so that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you did enjoy. Like I said, I've been testing so many of these cards, increasing the levels of each of these cards in the deck, just little by little by little, trying to find the matchups that work. With like that last deck, right? They had a star card in there and then a lower tier card. And so because of the fact that we took the pros, the Elite Pro and the Epic Prime Pro, and leveled them up just enough to be able to beat those, you know, insane doubles that they have, that is the whole purpose of doing it, you know, just so you can win on these doubles and the singles the majority of the time. We want 95%. I mean, we want 95% or so. Losing 1 out of 20 isn't bad. But all three of these decks have been working great for me. I've, like I said, been testing out a ton of stuff, trying to find out what works and what doesn't. I think the very last one, or the very first one we did in this video, the one with the Star Westbrook and then the 2 Elite event cards, all 3 of them event cards, that was probably the most successful. I think I did 100+ matches with that, only lost once. The other ones that we've done, I probably am sitting around 95%, maybe 90 to 95%, somewhere around there. So these decks have been working really good. I have found that using the pros with just leveling them up just a little bit works the best. And so just stay in these tiers. You should be good. Hopefully this helped. There are other decks that you use. Please let everybody know in the comments. Hopefully your event is going good. We will stream tomorrow night to close out the event, and hopefully if I don't see any problems, you know, we're going to be getting that into White Howard. And now that I can actually focus on playing instead of focusing on switching decks and doing all this stuff, because it's been really time consuming. I have probably spent, you know, 8 hours today just trying to mess with these decks to see what works best. But if you do enjoy the video, hit that thumbs up, and I'll see y'all tomorrow night. I am out. Peace.